Okay, this is going to be a video on completing the square, okay? What we want to do in this is we want to find the vertex and we want to find the solutions for each, okay? I'm going to walk you through how to complete the square first. What you want to do is move the number, okay? All right, move the number to other side, okay? You want x and x squared on same side, okay? All right, so I got x squared plus 6x equals 16. Now, what you want to do is take out the number in front of x squared. Now, I'm going to do this on this one. You really don't have to do it, but just as a pattern. The 1 is here, so if I took out a 1, this is what I have. All right? Now, what I want to do now is I want to actually do the completing the square part. Okay? Now, here's how you do that. Take your x term, divide it by 2. That becomes the squared term. Becomes the squared factor. All right? So, here's what I mean. If I take 6, okay, and I divide 6 by 2, I get 3. So this is going to become x plus 3 squared. Now, the reason I can do that, then I want to do is I want to then square the previous result. All right? So, if I squared 3, 3 squared is 9. That's what I put here. Okay? Multiply what you took out. Put that on the other side. Okay? So 1 times 9 is 9. So I want to put 9 on the other side. Now, that combines to 25. Now, why am I allowed to do that? 2 reasons. If I were to go and factor that, 1 times 9 would be 9. Factors of 9 are 1, 9, 3, and 3. What set would add up to 6? 3 and 3. And if I factored that, x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9, that'd be an x, 3, 3. So what is that? X plus 3 times x plus 3. What does that give me? X plus 3 squared. Okay? So that's why I can do that. And then the other component is, okay, I can also, because I added 9 and 9, I balanced the equation. Okay? So I'm allowed to do that algebraically. All right, now, let's talk about, once we've done that, how do we find the vertex? Here's how you find the vertex. All right? Bring back this number. All right, I'm going to leave that here because we're going to solve from that in a second. That'd be x plus 3 squared minus 25 equals 0. Now, here's the idea. If you think about it, even if it's x squared, right? 0 squared is 0. How would I get these? Okay, I would solve that inside. That would be negative 3. Okay, what would happen to my y values? Nothing out here. I would subtract 25, so that's negative 25. So my vertex here is negative 3, negative 25. Now, what does this come from? Solving the inside. And this is basically what's exactly out here. So if you want like a pattern, that's how you would do it. Okay, this, I got 1x plus 3 squared equals 25. Let's talk about how you find the solutions. Divide by that number. That's x plus 3 squared equals 25. Take the square root, plus and minus. Square root of 25 is 5, so plus and minus 5. This is just going to be x plus 3. So how would I solve for x? Subtract 3. Now, what this means is negative 3 plus and minus 5. Now, someone say, Mr. Evans, why don't you put it back here? When we get to radicals, you're going to want to have it out front. So what that means is negative 3 plus 5, which is 2. Negative 3 minus 5, which is negative 8. So my solutions here are 2 and negative 8. Okay? All right? And that's how you get your answer. Okay? Let's do another one. Okay? Let's say this is 105. I want to move that. That's negative 105. Okay? I want to take out the 4 here, so that's x squared minus 10x. I want to take negative 10 divided by 2. I would get negative 5. Negative 5 squared is positive 25. 4 times 25 is 100, so plus 100 on both sides. So I get negative 5, okay? All right, so if I'm finding the vertex, all right, very simple. I solve what's on the inside. If I solve what's on the inside, I would get 5. Okay, move that back over. Okay, that would be positive 5. Okay, so my vertex there would be 5 as well. Okay, all right. So it's a quick way of finding the vertex there for that one. All right. Now let's go into the solving. A little bit more detail there. Okay, what I have to do is divide by 4, sorry. X minus 5 squared equals negative 5 over 4. Now, I would take the square root, plus and minus. Now let's talk about how you rationalize that. I would split that. Negative 5 over square root of 4. Before you multiply by anything, and that just goes away, all right, that 4 would reduce, okay, to 2. Now, I would want to reduce the square root of negative 5. Well, that's prime, but since that's negative, I got to have an I out there. So I square root of 5, okay? So I would add 5 over to this. So what my solutions are is 5 plus or minus I square root of 5 all over 2, okay? If you graph that, that doesn't actually cross the x-axis, okay? All right, let's do another one. Start to get into fractions. Okay, that's already been moved for us, okay? So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the 2. That's x squared plus 3x. All right, 3 divided by 2, 3 halves. 3 halves squared, real easy, square both. That would be 9/4. Okay, 2 times, I want to multiply that. 2 times that would be 18 over 4, or it reduced to 9 over 2. So what I want to do is I want to add 9 over 2 to this side. Okay, if I get a common denominator, I multiply, that's going to be 14 over 2 plus 9 over 2. So that's going to give me 23 over 2. Okay, so as a vertex, if I solve the inside, the vertex would be negative 3 halves. I bring that back, that would be negative 23 halves. Okay, all right, so just bring this back over if you need to. Okay, now if I go to solve, okay, I want to divide by 2. Now from a fraction standpoint, that's 23 over 2 times 1/2, which would give me 23 over 4. Okay, x plus 3 halves squared. Take the square root of this, plus and minus. Okay, once again, plus and minus square root of 23 over 4. Okay, now 4 reduces, that would be 2. Plus and minus 23. 23 does not have any, it's a prime number. So it's 1 and 23, okay? So what I got is x plus 3 halves equals plus or minus square root of 23 over 2. Subtract the 3 halves over. So my solutions are negative 3 halves plus or minus square root of 23 all over 2. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. All right, I want to do something real quick here with this. Okay, let's say, like that negative 8, that's fine. I'm going to do negative 1 next. That's fine. All right, let's say I have something like this. Now, in my opinion, okay, all right, what I would do here for this, okay, all right, is I would move everything back over to this side. So I would get x squared, positive 13x, okay? I would move that negative 8 and make that positive, okay? All right? And so when I go to complete the square here, all right, I obviously take out a 1, x squared plus 13x, all right, equals 8, because I would move this over and I move these two things back, okay? I wouldn't mess around with that being on that side, okay? All right, so if I divide, sorry, that shouldn't be there. Sorry. Okay, I would take 13 divided by 2, it's 13 over 2. Squared. I square both of those numbers. That's 169 over 4. So plus 169 over 4. Okay, all right, multiply plus 169 over 4. I want to get a common denominator, so I would have to multiply that by 4. That's 32 over 4 plus 169 over 4. That's 201 over 4. Okay, now if I was doing the vertex there, my vertex would be negative 13 over 2. I move this back, that'd be negative 201 all over 4. Okay, if I'm going to solve it, square root plus or minus 201 over 4. Square root of 4. Well, that reduces to 2. That was easy, okay? All right, 201, I'm gonna see if I can divide that by 3. I can, it's 3 and 67. I don't think you can divide 67 by 3. You cannot. 67 divided by 4. 67 divided by 5, no. 7, no. 9, no. No, so this doesn't reduce. Okay, plus or minus. Okay, so I got x plus 13 over 2 equals plus or minus square root of 201 over 2, and I would subtract the 13 over 2. Okay, so I got x equals negative 13 over 2 plus or minus square root of 201 over 2. That would be the solutions. Okay, demonstrate one more. Okay, all right, I want to demonstrate one more. I take out a negative 2 in this case. That's going to be x squared minus 7x. Okay, all right. You got to be really careful with that because you're dividing by negative 2. This over here obviously is negative 60. Okay, all right. I take negative 7 divided by 2 is negative 7 halves. I'm going to square negative 7 halves. So that's going to be positive 49 over 4. Okay, so that would be, when I multiplied that, it would be negative 98 over 4 or negative 49 over 2. Okay, so minus 49 over 2, common denominator. So that's going to be negative 120 over 2 minus 49 over 2. So that's going to be negative 169 over 2. If I'm doing the vertex stuff, I would move that back so it would become positive. If I solve the inside, it's 7 over 2, and that's 169 over 2. Okay, I'm going to solve. Okay, I would divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. That turns that into 169 over 4. Okay, all right, with x minus 7 over halves squared. Take the square root, plus or minus. Okay, x minus 7 halves. You got to be careful here. If you split that, watch what happens. Square root of 169 is 13. Square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so I got this is plus or minus 13 halves. Okay, so I would add 7 halves over to this other side. So I got x equals 7 halves plus or minus 13 over 2. Okay, so 7 plus 13 would be 20, divided by 2 would be 10. 7 minus 13 would be negative 6, divided by 2 would be negative 3. Okay, so 7 halves minus 13 over 2 would be negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3. This would be 7 over 2 plus 13 over 2, which would be 20 over 2, which would be 10. So my solutions there are those. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and try these ones on your own. And then I just want to demonstrate 2 more. Okay, here I would take out an 8. Okay, I would divide 6 by 2, which would be 3. 3 squared is 9. 8 times 9 is 72. Okay, that would give me 72 there. Okay, all right, if I wanted to get the vertex, I would bring that back and become negative 72. So my vertex is negative 3, negative 72. Okay, if I go to solve, I would divide by 8. It give me 9. square root plus and minus. Square root of 9 is plus and minus 3. X plus 3 there. I would subtract 3 over to the other side. So I got x equals negative 3 plus and minus 3. So negative 3 plus 3 would be 0. Negative 3 minus 3 would be negative 6. Those would be the solutions. Okay? Now, solved by factoring is probably easier there, to be honest. You would just take out an 8x, all right? You could solve. Okay? Same thing here. This is probably better by solved by factoring, but if you want to do completing the square, you can. Okay, negative 10 divided by 2 would be negative 5. Negative 5 squared would be 25. 3 times 25 would be 75. Okay, so if I bring that back, I can find the vertex. The vertex would be 5, negative 75, because that would be negative on that side. Okay, all right, if I solve that, divide by 3, x minus 5 squared equals 25. Square root of this, plus and minus. Well, the square root of 25 is plus and minus 5. This is x minus 5. So let me move this up here. X minus 5 plus and minus 5, or x equals, sorry. Add 5, so I get x equals 5 plus and minus 5. 5 plus 5 is 10, 5 minus 5 is 0. Those would be the solutions, all right, to that problem. Okay, and you guys can go ahead and try those.